Hi everyone, my topic is how digital technology assists lifelong learning, the effectiveness of online collaborative learning, OCL. With the rapid growth of information technologies to support teaching and learning activities, adopting innovative technologies enhance better learning outcomes of learners. Collaborative learning, CL, is a new trend of learning involving students to participate and interact from their group members. Students interact in a learning environment and learn actively through forming questions, discussing and sharing ideas, making collective decisions, and reflecting on their thinking and experiences. The use of innovative technology encourages learners to explore different learning settings and environments, such as online learning environments, to achieve collaborative learning purposes. In higher education context, OCL has constituted a new domain of learning in online education, which promotes seamless learning, higher social engagement level amongst learners, as well as higher order of thinking skills. OCL moves collaborative learning from traditional learning environments, such as face-to-face mode, to online learning environments, allowing students with different performance levels work together in small groups and learn from each other through collaborations amongst students and teachers. Whether or not students are adaptive to the OCL environments depends on some tangible and intangible attributes, such as appropriate technology, collaboration learning with peers, social engagement, and so on. The Pearson study applied OCL theory, integrating with cognitive developments, such as interaction with peers and student engagement, to evaluate the effectiveness of student learning outcomes of learners through online collaborative learning. This figure shows the online collaborative learning theory developed by Harrison in 2007. There are three components in the OCL process, which are ideas generating, idea organizing, and intellectual convergence. OCL supplements the learners by providing a platform that allows the instructor to support and motivate the learners to work together for creating new knowledge and innovation through collaboration. Through three essential phases of OCL, it can ensure the students are following closely to the standards and expected learning outcomes of subjects domain integrated with the learning cycle. In the OCL environments, students are not only motivated to learn, but also engage themselves in participating and interchanging ideas amongst their group mates and instructors. Therefore, interaction with peers as well as student engagement are considered as playing a fundamental role in OCL. In addition to social interaction and student engagements, it is essential to examine the effectiveness of OCL as it helps in explaining how student learning performance is influenced by OCL characteristics. With the context of OCL, it is also significant to consider the effects of online collaborative tools such as Microsoft Teams, Zoom, Google Meet, and so on, which is useful to explain how the characteristics of appropriate technology predict student engagements. Therefore, the objective of this study is to examine the impact of technology characteristics such as online collaborative tools, social interactions such as collaborations with peers, student engagement on student learning performance by incorporating OCL theory. That means idea generating, idea organization, and intellectual convergence. A research model was developed to analyze the relationships. Also, the Pearson study tries to operationalize OCL theory using knowledge management perspectives. This is the research model of the study. We argue that the effectiveness of online collaboration tools such as Zoom, Teams meeting, and peers collaboration have direct impact on student engagement. Once students are engaged in online collaborative learning, they tend to generate organize ideas with their teammates and come up with constructive solutions for the OCL activities together with the teacher's involvement in the OCL process. Ultimately, students' learning outcomes will be strengthened. Student engagement and learning performance in higher education contexts have received considerable attention over the past decades in Asia. Student engagement refers to the extent of students' involvement and active participation in learning activities. Promoting student engagement is important in the learning process, which motivates students to practice high-level critical thinking skills, promoting meaningful learning experience. Behavioral approach is the most common approach used in higher education literature and can be measured by surveys. Online learning technology can significantly increase online learning performance, and it effectively increases knowledge exploration during distancing learning through increasing of motivation to the learner to stay active and access materials everywhere and anytime. Consequently, the learner can promote fluent and real-time interaction with the instructors, which boosts the idea generating that improves cognitive presence where knowledge occurs in higher education. For example, online discussion forum, which helps the group members to collaborate and through exchange of information. Appropriate technology would benefit learners to establish an interpersonal connection with classmates online and receive better learning outcomes. Based on the above empirical insights and theoretical arguments to the context of online learning, we propose Hypothesis 1. Online collaborative tools will positively influence student engagement. Learners' involvement and engagement during the learning time are essential for active learning. Interactions with peers could improve the students' interest and motivating them to explore various knowledge in depth and enrich the learning outcomes. Interactivity can strengthen the linkage amongst the students and engage them to share academic ideas and information. The collaboration with peers becomes an important element of academic progress. Therefore, the student can learn in collaborative settings with full emotional support and intra-group interaction, as well as develop problem-solving skills. Accordingly, we hypothesize the following: H2. Collaborative with peers will positively influence student engagement. There are three existing phases of knowledge building that need to be accomplished online as follows: idea generating, IG, idea organization, IO, and intellectual convergence, IC. OCL allows students to foster a certain level of collaboration and formulate a higher standard of knowledge building. In addition, OCL encourages the student to learn collaboratively through problem solving, as well as idea discourse, while the instructor is a learning community leader. IG is the first phase that encourages the student to have the brainstorming process online. Students can generate critical ideas by talking and writing. Students and instructors are able to share the proposed ideas and gather information and make a consensus about the first layer of the idea. IG demonstrates the democratic process of various perspectives amongst the classmates based on a diversity of observations. For this, we have H3A. Student engagement will positively influence students' idea generation within the context of OCL. Ideas organization, IO, requires the interaction with various stakeholders, such as instructors and classmates. IO analyzes and categorizes ideas through online discussion and in-depth investigation. The learner should have direct instruction from the instructor that instructor will make the course's content more understandable and clarify what ideas should be conducted accurately. The frequency of learners asking questions to the instructor through electronic means such as discussion board, online conferencing, and email. More importantly, the instructor can take an active role in constructing knowledge and involvement of students. So we set H3B. Student engagement will positively influence students' idea organization within the context of OCL. Intellectual convergences, IC, refers to the phase where the learner processes the intellectual synthesis about the course content and ensure the consensus occurs for the whole learning outcomes, such that discussion becomes more meaningful amongst the students. One good thing is that students can present appropriate critical thinking on specific issues, which would build a healthy and positive instructional environment with the peers and the instructors, striving for greater academic achievements. Therefore, we try to test the following. H3C. Student engagement will positively influence students' idea convergency within the context of OCL. The ultimate goal is to examine the effectiveness of student learning performance, such as academic achievement and student learning outcomes. With all the proposed components, we have the following research model. We try to test this model in China's context. We aim to invite university students from mainland China who have experienced OCL in the past 3 months. Participants were recruited from Shojum, a popular online survey platform in China. A total of 373 students, around half female and half male, were recruited to operationalize OCL concepts. The construct from knowledge management perspectives have been adapted. The data is then analyzed using structural equation modeling by SmartPLS. For this, we make measurement model and structural model. The table shows the reliability and validity of the variables in this study. All the variables passed the reliability and validity requirements. Then, we try to look at the final results. The result shows that all the proposed hypotheses are supported. This means that our proposed factors predict student learning outcomes in the OCL process in higher education context. There are some key findings in this study. First, the positive impacts of student engagement on student learning outcomes through OCL process provide significant impacts and implications for higher education. Second, our research employed OCL theory developed by Harrison's framework to examine students' learning performance through OCL process, such as idea generating, idea organizing, and intellectual convergences. Third, to our knowledge, this is the first study to operationalize and empirically examine the 3 components of Harrison's framework using knowledge management perspectives. To promote OCL, what can our students do? We examine that peers collaboration has a direct impact on student engagement. So, building teamwork is necessary to ensure the success of collaboration. Our findings conclude that the more interaction among group members, the more the students tend to have a high engagement to their OCL activities, fostering cognitive skills and developments. Students should interact with their team members frequently to develop the common goal of online collaborative learning. They need to understand the intrinsic value of learning with the others so that they are responsible for their own learning. How about our teachers? What can our teachers do? Teachers can communicate with their students by email after the OCL activities. Teachers should facilitate active participation, idea sharing, and exchange among the groups. For example, during group discussion of OCL activities, the instructor would make different breakout rooms using OCL tools. Then, the instructors will join in different groups and listen to different groups' idea sharing. The instructor would provide constructive feedback during the OCL discussion, and the group would present their findings at the end of the OCL activities. The student-instructor interaction through OCL activities would enhance students' cognitive skills such as critical thinking skills, oral communication skills, and analytical skills, ultimately leading to students' learning performance. Last but not least, what can institutions do? Institutions should motivate teachers to implement OCL in their teaching to increase students' learning and performance. Institutions should encourage teachers to design appropriate OCL activities and enhance student engagement in group discussions and projects. Institutions play an important role in putting more resources to invest in technological infrastructure. With appropriate online collaborative technology, institutions can provide comfort and easiness online learning environments for students to communicate with their members to knowledge sharing and generation, which ultimately strengthens students' learning performance. To conclude, innovative technology is very important, which can promote lifelong learning. Therefore, higher education should invest in technological infrastructure for effective online collaborative learning. Higher education senior management should motivate teachers to implement OCL activities in the curriculum. Also, student engagement and student-teacher involvement are the key drivers in the OCL process, leading to desired learning outcomes. Therefore, senior management should develop policy in promoting OCL for achieving lifelong learning goals.